So I thought we could read some books today. You know, because it's always good for you to read a good book. What do we got here? Let's see, Oh My Goddess, Oh My Goddess, Oh My Goddess. Kanji Pocket Guide, that's probably not all that interesting for you guys. Some more Oh My Goddess, some more Oh My Goddess. Not much variety here. Let's go check somewhere else. Okay, so here's some more books. Maybe a little bit more variety here, right? Clive Cussler, Clive Cussler, Clive Cussler. Okay, maybe not so much variety. Which Clive Cussler shall we read today? Wait a second. This isn't a book. This is a PCFX game. Team Innocent. Well, maybe we should check this out today, huh? So yeah, today I thought we'd look at Team Innocent. Pretty notorious or famous game that was, you know, kind of the release title on the PCFX. I always thought these cases were ridiculous. I mean, look how thick that is. It's like a book. But hey, it's got the Hudson B on it, so it must be good, right? So let's check this out. You got this casing here, and then you got the manual, and then this thing opens and you got the disc inside. So yeah, I'm not sure why it needs such a ridiculously big case. But yeah, this game was kind of like an attempt to make a Biohazard style game, you know, a kind of space horror with, you know, anime characters. You know, it was actually pretty good, but very short, and they didn't do a very good job with the combat, unfortunately, and, you know, weapons and enemies and that sort of thing. But as you'll see, and I'll explain as we're going through, you know, you can kind of see what they were trying to do, but they didn't do it quite as well as Biohazard did, although the acting is way much better than Barry in Biohazard. So it's got that going for it, good acting. And I love that PCFX controller. Came with 6 buttons. So awesome. The way it was supposed to be. You know, perfect for fighting games and arcade games and that sort of thing. So this is a quick look at the manual. But it'll just be better if we try playing this. And I'll go through each mission and, you know, kind of make it as a walkthrough as well to show people what steps need to be done if you happen to be playing this game and you're lost or confused. Once again, there is no English version. There's probably hacks or, you know, ROMs that, you know, somebody made an English patch kind of thing for it. So, but the characters are interesting. It's too bad that it just wasn't long enough, and that they didn't really focus on the, you know, the battle system all that much. I don't know. It had potential. I really think it had potential. Had the CG, you know, ships mixed in with the anime style, and so that made it quite unique. There was surprisingly a large number of CG ships that they created for this, so they even had an entire map here in the manual of the galaxy and like all the relationships with all the different places, but we don't really visit very many of those because there's only, you know, a few missions. So, and they even have the maps here in the manual, which is kind of nice. But yeah, anyway, how to take care of your disc. Make sure that you are good to your disc. Don't throw water on it, or else it'll run away from you. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out Team Innocent, and we'll see how the PCFX stands up today. Oh, I love that PCFX menu. Can do data, photo CDs, music CDs, and the game CD. This was quite the system, back in the day. Pretty interesting. It's too bad that it was, kind of forgotten, and that it was Japan only. But hey, let's check out the flagship game, Team Innocent. So I'll explain the story a bit after the cutscene here.
ご苦労様です、シグルス捜査官。奴は
やめろ。私の研究をどうするのだ。
貴様、自分が何をしているのか分かっているのか。
お前たちに何が分かるのだ。人間は人を超えるのだ。神の力ではなく私の力によって。
連れて行け。
何がいけないのだ。人は変わらねば生きてはいけぬ。私はその手助けをしようとしているだけだ。それがなぜ分からぬ。いずれ変わらねばならんのなら。
シグルス捜査官、この子たちです。もう大丈夫だ。何もしないからな。怖がらなくてもいいぞ。
広がるよ光る大宇宙
they even have a cool logo. Team Innocent. So, yeah, there in the opening, that guy was doing experiments on human beings instead of, other things like he should have been doing, and, giving them special abilities, powers, whatever. Basically, human experimentation, and the result is the three girls, and they're innocent, because they were kind of created and, messed with and modified with. So we're going to do the first mission here. There's this ITS satellite that's, stopped communicating, and we're going to go figure out what's wrong with it. I get serious, Charlie's Angels vibes with this game. You've got the three girls, and then you've got Charlie right there on the screen, giving the three of them secret missions to go on.
駐在社員からの連絡もなく ITS から調査に出した連絡艇も後日漂流しているのを保護した
So this is classified as kind of a survival horror game. Although it's honestly not all that scary, but it's kind of classified that as that kind of game.
故障の原因を調査駐在員の救出およびその機能を回復せよ
So we were supposed to go figure out what happened, what was wrong, rescue anybody that needed rescuing. Only 3 missions in this game, unfortunately, but they're each pretty long. So it's pretty awesome there. You can see the seamless transitions from CG graphics to, the hand-drawn animated graphics.
とりあえずは問題ないみたい。リレー衛星内の生命維持装置は機能しているみたいね。
So she landed at the ITS satellite, and Lilith is going to launch the satellite so they call it Kurene, so they can get the map of the place. So now we've got the map of this facility.
今回の任務は駐在員の救助および ITS の故障箇所の確認とその修理。
はいはい。
これが問題の駐在員、ゴールドライスフィールド。
So he was the one in charge of this relay station. I like Ariel. She's really genki.
最上階のメインコンピュータ室に向かって。
Always energetic.
あとはデータを転送してくれれば、こっちで故障箇所を分析するから。
さっき状況をセーブするには基本的にホワイトパンサーでするようにして。場所によってはデータが拾えるかもしれないから、それは試してみて。
So we can save our game here at the White Panther.
じゃあ、頑張ってね。
The name of her ship. Well, you could pretty much save anywhere, so that's not really a big deal. Oh, pieces of this place are falling apart.
さっき言い忘れてたけど、衛星内に正体不明の生命反応多数。気をつけるようにね。
Be careful. There's a response of
了解。
some unknown creature
数を正確に教えましょうか。
on the ship. Shall I tell you how many there are?
遠慮しておく。
She's like, I'll pass on that.
ネズミか何かでしょ？はあ、大丈夫、大丈夫。
It's just mice, right?
簡単に言ってくれるわね。ネズミだって
You
数
say
が
that
揃
so
えば。
simply. If there's like tons of mice, it's actually
大丈夫
scary.
よ。ミケタはいないから。
そういう問題じゃない。
Alright, so it's a little hard to control this game as well. The controls are pretty odd. You have to like hit left and right to spin or turn Saki, and then you hold up on the pad to walk forward and back on the D-pad to back step. And I accidentally exited the mission. Sorry about that. Jump back in here. So yeah, as I was saying, the controls are a little weird, so if it looks like I'm, stumbling around or walking all aimlessly, it's because the controls are pretty weird. Anybody that's played this game will know what I'm talking about. So you can fight, you can punch and kick and shoot. You've got your status screen with your items. So at the time, Biohazard was a super popular, horror survival game, as everybody knows, in Japan. And so this game was kind of a survival horror game in space. Trying to do aliens, kind of an alien kind of thing or something. So we do have some, kind of eerie music, and, the base is empty, and we have to explore, look for items. It works similarly to the way the original Biohazard was. You gotta find items you can combine, even combining items. And I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about if they've played Biohazard. Any of the games. Well, majority of them, I guess. You can combine, herbs or, combine parts to make gunpowder or whatever. So in this game, you can also combine things, search. But unfortunately, the combat's pretty meh. They didn't really focus much on it. And so it's more like an exploration kind of game, and, just trying to create a creepy atmosphere. But as Lilith said, there's like a bunch of unknown, some living entity on board. So, by the way, never say yes to that panel. That's to open the airlock for the ship to fly out, but Saki will be sucked into space, and it will be game over. So just for fun, I want to do this as kind of a playthrough that'll be a walkthrough if anybody ever wanted to try this game and was confused about where to go and what to do. And also just a kind of showing of the game and, the PCFX in general. As you notice, it was, amazing at the time for the full screen animated scenes, that just look like real anime. And then you've got the CG as well. And then, all the scenes here are kind of really nice CG. But the character looks really out of place because the character is kind of anime style. So on the one shelf over there, I got a can of oil, which we definitely need. And there was just a pick, which you can equip in your hand, and it makes your punching damage a little better, I guess. It was also kind of interesting in this game, they were experimenting with size and distance. So unlike other games, the character is incredibly pixelated, of course, but her size actually changes if you watch closely, depending on where she goes and where she is. If you're right up near the camera, you can see her really big, and unfortunately that makes it look kind of ugly and pixely. Especially if she's really far away, it starts to look pretty bad. But I could see what they were going for, and it was an interesting concept. And there's something walking on the rafters up there. Once again, this is kind of supposed to be immersive, get you creeped out, and kind of a horror game. The base is completely empty. There should be a few people here, on staff, and suddenly this relay station just, stopped broadcasting. So we're here to find out what happened. There's something in the window there to creep us out. That little pointing thing I'm doing is the search button. You just gotta search places, and it's pretty hard to search in this game because you can't really tell what is interactive and what isn't. Occasionally there'll be an obvious item on the ground, but for the most part it's a little tricky to figure it out. So that door's locked. Okay, let's leave the hangar here. Head down to the basement. We were on the first floor. Another, kind of small problem, which is unfortunate, is the angles. The camera angles in this game reminds me a lot of the first Devil May Cry, where suddenly the camera angle switches on you, and you're not sure which direction you're going, if it's the correct one, and you're not sure if the door was on the right of you or the left of you, because it changes depending on the angle. And that makes the map a little useless. It shows you where you are, but you're not quite sure which is north, south, east, and west, and what's up and down. It's really hard to tell, which way you're facing, and because the angles are always changing. So we're gonna get in this cold food storage unit, and I'm pretty sure there's something here. See, like I said, it's not real apparent. Just have to, kind of search the entire area. Okay, there we go. So we got a canister there. See if there's anything over here. Nope, I'm just like an idiot pointing at the screen, or pointing at the wall pointlessly. Yeah, sometimes you have to be facing just the right direction in order to, get the object. But yeah, the scenery is pretty cool. I look at the floor there, and you know, the whole inside of the ship is pretty creepy. It's just, you know, when the combat starts and, you know, there's just so few enemies and the combat wasn't really, you know, worked on. It's not really a highlight of the game. It just kind of spoils the immersion a bit. At least for me it does. I really wish it would have been better, but... And then there's one of those things up there on the power unit. This room is a good example of, like, which way am I facing, or, you know, where am I going? The angles just keep changing. And then, you know, added to that the frustration of the way the character moves, the way you gotta turn. Honestly, I'm not doing this on purpose, just to make the video longer. It's just, it's hard to control. You know, left and right is just turn. So if you hold left or right, you just sort of spin in a circle. So you gotta get the direction you're facing, and then hit up on the pad to walk forward. I'm just seeing if there's any, you know, panels in here or something I can interact with. I don't think there is. But back to the story. I know I didn't finish the explanation, but that man at the beginning in the opening cutscene, he's, you know, he started doing experimentation, and of course that's an illegal activity to do human experimentation and modification. So that research lab called Tone was closed down, shut down, and you saw the police there in that opening cutscene, you know, taking all his stuff and closing down the facility, turning the lights off, taking all the data and, you know, deleting everything off the computer system, and taking all the samples pretty much. And then the 3 girls remained, which were kind of the main experiment. And the head of the police, you know, took them in and trained them, you know, to kind of be officers in the police force, but they're sort of a unnamed, you know, unknown organization, just like Charlie's Angels. 3 secret girls secretly, you know, doing missions. So these elevators go to different floors. There are 5 floors total in this first mission. And as you can see, the elevators take you to different sections of the relay station. And yeah, it's pretty confusing. You know, you walk around a lot and point at stuff and hope you find items and, you know, try to figure out where to go next. So similar to the original Biohazard. Hey, there's an electrical device in the shirt. So we got this sort of lounge room down here. That was an ITS member's shirt, it looks like. And all the tables and desks are knocked over, and all the chairs are on their side. So we don't really know what happened here. Was it a zombie apocalypse? Did everybody abandon ship? You know, the lights are still on. Oh hey, there's a ray gun. I don't know why they give you the choice. You always want to take the items. Unfortunately, most of the weapons, they've only got like a few shots of ammo. Once again, it's to try to give you the, you know, the feel of survival horror. Like, here's the ray gun. It's only got 10 bullets. These cold canisters, 2, 1 canister of oil, and the needle gun has 2 shots. I'll put the pickaxe in my hand, because that's infinite. And at the end of each mission, there's kind of a score that's given, depending on, you know, what you found and how well you did, and, you know, if you died or if you took the best route, kind of thing. I don't think I've ever gotten a flawless, perfect score, but I've gotten close.
Saki, エレベーターから離れることを勧めるわ。
Saki, get away from the elevator.
なんで？
Why?
エレベーターの中に生命反応。人間じゃないわ。
There's something in the elevator that's living. It's not a human. So you're one of these things. A giant rat. So to save ammo, I'm just gonna kick it a bunch, which is incredibly exciting combat, don't you think? All for the rear end shot. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for the combat. Disappointing, isn't it? But now that I think about it, you know, the old Biohazard, the combat in that was pretty cheesy too. And it wasn't all that good. And if you're wondering, yes, there are zombies in this game. Because what is a survival horror game without zombies? I'll tell you, it's not a survival horror game. It's just gotta have zombies. Even Alien Isolation had, you know, of course the alien, but the robots that were almost zombie-like. They were creepy like zombies. That was a good game, really scary. And yeah, if you're playing this all alone and you're in this empty facility wondering what happened, you know, they got the atmosphere pretty good in this game. So that was like this is a decompression chamber, you know, that opens up into space. And I did find it interesting. There are, you know, different ways that you can survive. There's a handy cooler. So later you learn that these creatures that are on the infested the ship, there's a bunch of them, you know, as she said in the beginning, they hate cold. And if you need to, you can like lure them in here and, you know, turn off the oxygen so that you know, they get killed kind of thing if you're being chased. And you can use that cooler I just picked up to keep them away from you. So I started the decompression process. And supposedly that door leads to space. So you're gonna hear that panic music all of a sudden. But if you leave it on too long, eventually Saki just dies in there. So I kind of found it interesting. You have different choices on the way to survive in this game. You know, you can use the gun, you can use the cooler to keep them away, and the electric thing I picked up, you know, once I get another item, I can use it to, you know, make a terrible noise. It makes kind of a, you know, shrieking noise, I guess, and that scares the things away. So you can scare them away, or you can use the cooler to keep them away. You can use the gun to shoot them. You can lure them into traps. So if you turn that on, the panic music starts, and then this door is locked, so you're trapped in here until you die, or turn it off. That's why I saved my game and went back in, but yeah, I don't think I want to die. I want to see if I can get a good score for this playthrough. There are lots of easy ways to die. You do have HP. You can see I have 16 HP there under the status. But yeah, I'll start to delete, you know, backtracking, because this game, you know, can get really monotonous. Let's try equipping the axe. Although I'm still kicking instead of punching. You even have to change your action in the menu. But, you know, if I'm doing any backtracking, I'll go ahead and just cut it all out, you know, all the walking, and it'll be a little bit more interesting to watch, I think. You know, here in the beginning, it's been a long time, so I'm trying to get used to the controls again, and just trying to remember exactly where to go. And I kind of want to show off the different rooms and what they look like, just to show the, you know, the PCFX and what it could do. You know, at the time, this was pretty amazing. And I do applaud them for, you know, attempting to do the thing they're doing with the character by making it change, you know, size and everything to simulate distance. I could have sworn there was something in the bushes here. And here's the bathroom. Come on, there's a apple gumi in the toilet, right? There always is in Tales of Destiny. Guess there's no apple gummies in this place. So yeah, really, you know, you just want to search everywhere and then pick up all the items, and you know, you need key cards to get into certain rooms, and etc., etc. But this first episode, you know, I'll be going to mostly new places, so I won't be cutting anything out. But from the second one, and I don't expect these to be very long, from the second one I'll start cutting any backtracking I do, and just show where you need to go and what items. So there we go, just the wrong angle. Now we can use this computer. The Mo disc player, please set the blue key. Yes, but I don't have the blue key. So the discs you can watch, and they kind of give you hints to the story of what's going on. And like I said, there's 3 missions, and these main 3 missions in the game, you know, involve the story around the 3 girls, of course. So in a way, this is their origin story, and it was hinted that there would be a lot more, you know, like a second one or something. It's too bad there are only 3 missions in this one, and of course there was never a sequel, which is another unfortunate thing, because I think it could have been good later. You know, like the first Biohazard was meh, and then it got better over time. I think this could have gotten pretty cool. So I unlocked that door. That's the door to the outside, if you remember. We were looking in the docking area.
Saki?
And we get a call from our home base.
何リリス
From Lilith. Lilith?
今あなたのいるところ、サブコントロールなんだけど、
We're in the sub-control room.
エリアルが言うには今は起動していないって。
そこからじゃダメダメ
It's like she can't
最上階
access the
のメイ
computer.
ンコンピューター室よろしくねサキ
She wants Saki to go to the main computer room.
楽ね
サキ、一応そこも調査して。
わかりました仰せのままに
So they give you some hints, you know, they want her to leave that section and, you know, head to the main computer room is kind of the main goal. But I see a red key on the table over there, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up after making sure there's nothing in these computers. Just trying to be thorough. But yeah, that red key is pretty obvious. And I'm not close enough. It's really frustrating to, you know, the angle changes. You're trying to pick something up. There we go. Red key. Do you want to pick this up? It reminds me just like, you know, when you Biohazard or Amnesia or some of those games, you pick up something, and as soon as you do, an enemy attacks you. It's like the room was empty until you picked the actual key item up, and then you get attacked by a creature or a zombie. Yeah, his death was a little lame there. You know, you can also just run away from them, but when you need to come back, you know, to certain rooms, the enemies will still be there, so it's better to actually kill them. That way when you come back, you don't have, you know, an enemy interfering with what you're doing, like if you're using the computers or using a key card, the enemy might be behind you, you know, attacking Saki if you're not sure. So I found it better just to kill the enemies. But once again, they wanted to make you feel like you had options. Like you can run away, you can use a gun, you can use, you know, kicking, you can, you know, use the sound device, which makes a terrible sound and, you know, makes the creatures run away, or you can use the cooling device because they don't like cold temperatures, and that'll keep them away from you, etc., etc. They put a bunch of, you know, options in for dealing with enemies, but really there isn't very many enemies in this game, so it's not a main, you know, highlight, which is unfortunate because once again it was a good idea, but yeah, when the play testers didn't give good feedback, I guess I would say. But for this playthrough, we are going to go through all 3 of the missions, and you know, I will make them short. I'll remove all the superfluous stuff that's not necessary, and leave all the cutscenes in, and just have fun for those of you that have wanted to see this game or always wondered about it, or if you've played it and just wanted some nostalgia. You can get this on emulators, and you know, with English hacks, I'm pretty sure with like an English you know, patch for just the text. So this is one of the most important sections. These are the ITS rooms for the control for the station. And we need keys for these ITS doors. See, I pointed right at it there, and it... There we go. We need an ITS card. Do you want to put your ITS card in? Yes, you don't have one. Thanks a lot.
ITS カードってどこにあるのかしらね。
I wonder where an ITS card would be.
自分で考えたらどうなの、さっき？
Think about it yourself, Saki.
ITS 通信部のキーなんだから、
In an ITS member's
ITS 制
room,
御室かメインコンピューター室かってところね。
or maybe in the main computer room.
はいはい、急いで急いで。
Yep, hurry, hurry. So the key to those doors is in the main computer room, the bridge of the ship, I should say. So there's another one. It's funny to ask me, do you want to insert your card? Yes, yes I do, but you don't have it. Different kind of elevators. Oh, there's something on the table there. I'm not sure if I should pick it up though. It's like you start to get freaked out about picking up key items because you're not sure if enemies will appear or not. There's the crystal key, which we need. But alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, and in the next one we'll finish Mission 1. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. This is a really interesting game, and I just wanted to show it on the PCFX. So please join me till the end. じゃあ皆さん、またね